Okay, we have something to work on. This is the hoverboard. Well, it is a frame of the hoverboard, not fully completed. I have these little pieces of hoverboard material that I'm going to be attaching to it. This is acrylic, and I'm going to attach all three of them. 1, 2, and then there's one back there. All three of them on. I'm then going to add all of the motors. So I'm going to need to take out the hoverboard that is in the closet. I'll add in every single motor. Then from there, what I'm going to do is I will cut out some of these pieces of PVC, attach them onto the ends, and then we will be done with creating the hoverboard frame model. I hope it works, because the next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a gearbox so we can take the gear that is being rotated by the motor and we can output it to a much higher speed, about 16 times faster, so a 1:16 gear ratio, which then will take our beautiful prop here and spin it really, really fast. For just a bit of perspective, hoverboard version 1, gigantic. Hoverboard version 2, tiny. I need to remove 3 more motors. I took one from the exterior, so I'm going to need to take one from each other exterior. Okay, so that took a bit. I got all the 4 motors off, and I put them right over here. So we have 3 on at the moment. They aren't screwed in yet. And we have a 4th one, which, while I was taking it off, unluckily, I removed one of the soldering pins. So I have to rewire that whole pin on. Put it onto there, and then screw all 4 of them in. Then I have to 3D print some more gears and put all 4 of the gears on all of them, and from there we can get to work on doing some very important stuff with gear ratios. Okay, so I did a lot of work, and I mean I did a lot of work. Okay, so from last when I paused, I fixed a motor, and then I proceeded to put all 4 motors on. I also put on all 4 ESCs, and I attached all of the gears onto the props. I also attached the 2 long rods that are going to be used for the props. So that's very nice. So looking at this end right here, we have our prop, which is going to be located on the bottom. And it has complete clearance, but if it gets too close to the side, it's gonna whack, so we don't want that to happen. So I have 2 things for that. I have a plate just gonna sit on the bottom. It's not gonna touch anything, and it will hopefully keep our guy flat. The whole point is to make sure it stays flat so that it never touches. To keep everything in place, we have this. This is another 3D printed part, which will slide in, and then we can attach it like so that it doesn't move, and it grips onto the propeller so that it will never fly off and fall. From there, top plate, it will fit on. Difficult. It fits on difficult, but it fits on. And then from there, I can't do it with any of these gears, but with a gear, we'll attach it like that. Okay, we want the hole to be right in the center. Right about there. That looks center to me. Perfect center. Oh, that is beautiful. It wiggles. It'll stop wiggling once I get the top portion on. But wow, look at that. This is all the clearance that's left, is like this little amount. So I need to increase it by a solid portion. From there, we can design what our gearbox is going to look like to transfer the power from this motor here, multiply it by 16, and then send it to the propeller, which will then spin 16 times faster than our motor. I'm also going to need to improve the structure of our device. There are a few spots where it has trouble bending. Okay, it's been 2 days since I put this gear on the propeller side. Now I have 3D printed out a base, which we will be using for our gears. This base, it's not really very good at the moment, but if it is placed in the right manner. So the base sits right on top, and I'm going to screw in. I'm gonna make screws for here and the side over here. It's hard to see. It's basically perfect at the moment. It's close. I'll say that it's very close, but it's not exact. Okay, boys and girls, we have done it. Well, not really. We kind of did something. I put a little bit of stuff on the thing, and now it's somewhat working. Let me show you what I did in the past half an hour of me pausing the last recording. So, we have all the gears chucked onto this thing. One of them broke when I hammered it in. It is what it is. Alright, so, this is how it works. It's a simple gear ratio. Now that it's together, I'm kind of having high hopes for this. So, of course, we have our gear here on the motor, and then it turns this one, and then that one becomes 4 times faster. It turns that one, and then it turns this one, which then becomes 4 times faster for a 16-to-1 gear ratio right on that guy. And just by going ahead and spinning this motor, as you can see, it's working. And it doesn't, and the best part is it doesn't take that much extra force for me to turn this. So I hope that our motors can handle the torque requirement. If not, I'm going to need to, sadly, I'll need to buy motors that can handle it with a higher torque. Or I'll need to return these ones and trade them in for a higher torque. But I don't want to, because all my math was done with these motors, and so I'm assuming that if they can handle it, we got ourselves a perfectly functioning gear ratio here. Now, of course, there are some main issues that I'm seeing right off the bat. One is the skipping. See, right away I start spinning it, and it starts skipping. Here, I can make it skip right there. See, skipping away. Now that skipping is going to be an issue for our motor, since our motor starts instantaneously speeding up right off the bat. It'll go like this instantly. It'll just go bang, bang, right away. It'll start really rolling. So one of the things that we can do to stop the skipping, and of course what I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to be applying a little cap on top of all of these. The cap's going to be like one big line. All right, or maybe I could just do a regular cap, and the cap will go on top of every single one of these, and it will keep them from moving. See how they can just, kind of move out of their spot, right? That's not what we want. We don't want any of that to happen. We want them to be tight, snug, stuck on here, but not too bad. If they're too snug, then all of a sudden, it's not going to be fun. Oh yeah, and one more thing. We look down here at the side, get a little cross-section view going. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a spot here. This guy can be lifted up more. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to reprint this little top piece thicker. And I'm going to reprint this probably. A little bit of a quick comparison. I didn't actually do this yet. Giant guy, little mini guy. I have a battery over here charging on my really awesome battery setup. We got this thing. This is basically just a battery charger that can handle a 10S LiPo battery. Hooked up to, of course, a 10S LiPo battery with my really awesome power supply over there. We're going to be charging up some of these batteries, both of them, and then we're going to start our testing phase. Okay, I got my hands wicked dirty. And I set up the motor with some
lubrication.
The pieces are not fully connected the best, but we're gonna do a thing anyway. Okay, this is motor testing with propeller part 1. And there it goes. Every time I try to run it, I don't know if you can tell. Alright, every time I try to run it, this one guy right here keeps snapping every single time I try to run it. Luckily, I made a lot of extras, and I can keep trying again and again and again and again until I get it right. They work fine. Though once it gets to that step-up phase, this guy's gone. It's just gone. So I'm going to drill a larger hole. I'm going to see if I can 3D print a thicker one of these for the hole. Hopefully that'll make it better. And then from there, probably one of these guys are going to break. And then we'll see what happens. Okay. I spent another, what seemed like 5 hours on this. Actually a whole day. I spent a whole day on this. The motor kept breaking. Not breaking, but it kept stalling. It kept pushing itself and making horrible noises. And this thing wouldn't spin. This guy broke like 3 times, so I printed it out of PLA instead of using resin and PLA. So instead of this thing, you can see no, you can't see. The resin snapped at 2 spots. PLA is more pliable. You know, it won't snap. So I did that. I made sure it worked. And now, turn this puppy on. Let's take a look at what happens. I started working on this project like 5 months ago. Like 5 months of work right here. Okay. I give it a little light spin on the old axle. Get the grease going and we have motion, baby. Really bad motion. But motion. Give it another good spin. Take another peek. Woo! It still stalls. And the ESC, let me tell you, the ESC is hot as balls. But it works. It works. It works. Yes! So after about 5 months of building that thing, actually more like 4 months, I got a motor to properly spin with its propeller on. This is really, really good. This means that if I mimic the entire thing on the other side with the same propeller, same dimension, same size, same weight, everything, then I'll be able to get this thing off the ground, hopefully. It's gonna spin weird. Okay, it's not going to have any other motion to counteract it. So it's going to lift up and it's going to go like this. It's going to spin around like crazy. So I need to figure out how to get the wooden propeller to work. The wooden propeller is much heavier than our carbon propeller. This is really difficult since everything depends on the weight. The weight is like 100, is literally everything. It's going to take me forever to figure out how to get the weight distribution right. I might go online and try to find 2 carbon fiber blades that are the exact same dimensions as the 2 I have here and have them reversed. So I'm going to work definitely on this a lot. And then the next video I put out of it, it should hopefully already be in its flight phase, so I should be able to record it flying. And then in that video, we'll get footage of it flying in the air. The next video that'll come out will probably be a completely different project than this. Also, probably not the robot arm. I'm hitting a little bit of a block with that. With the muscles. But yeah, I've been working steadily on this project for like 5 months. I bought so much stuff that was useless. I sunk a lot of money into this project, and I'm just gonna sink a lot of money into the next project. That's why I have a Patreon. I'm gonna link the Patreon. I'm gonna link my Patreon on my channel. I will put out update photos and update mini videos on there. So if you're a Patreon supporter, you can see those early. But you don't have to give that much, and you don't actually have to give any at all. I do these videos for free. I do them because I love them, and I love to make cool machines. So if you could support me on Patreon, that'd be great. You don't have to. And go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to try to hit, 500? I think we're going to try to get to 500 soon. And when 500 comes out, we're going to do something else with that drone that I did. That's going to be really nice. It's going to be really great. So thank you guys so much for watching this. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. And also, tell me what I'm doing wrong. If you know way better than me on this subject, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me how I can do things better. I really, really would appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you next time.